Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning is out, and its opening weekend with a few days before the weekend is absolutely dominating at the worldwide box office. Now, the initial numbers for the domestic are slightly disappointing to me. I wish they were higher, but these movies, a lot of these action movies, do way better overseas than they do here at home, but that might change as the word of mouth for this movie is absolutely astounding. Just a quick review for this movie. I absolutely adored Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. I don't think it's the best of the series so far from it, in fact, because there are a lot of plot contrivances and issues with it that just strain credulity to too far of a point, and there's some weak character stuff, but the action, I think, is unequivocally the best of the series. It is just on top tier action throughout the entire movie. Its pacing is incredible, and I'm always at the edge of my seat, regardless of the plot contrivances that set up the movie, especially initially. The very MacGuffin getting into play for the story is a major contrivance that I think breaks the overall narrative, and there's a bunch of other little stuff like that I have issues with, so I rate this lower than several of the best Mission Impossible movies, but above the worst as well. So it's kind of mid-range, high mid-range overall in the Mission Impossible movies, at least in terms of overall quality. When it comes to enjoyment factor, this has got to be the second or third most enjoyable Mission Impossible movie that I've ever seen. I absolutely adored it, and it seems like a lot of the other audience members are, because it has the highest user rating Rotten Tomato score of the entire franchise. So it seems like people are enjoying it, and they're going out and spending their hard-earned dollars for it. Will it break even? There's a little bit of a question with that because it has an astonishing budget of $290 million. But let's get into the actual numbers right here. So the domestic numbers haven't updated yet. Scrolling down here, we see that the domestic numbers for today are actually at 80 million for the total domestic run, and this is still showing 60, so we need to add 20 roughly to the overall worldwide. So we're looking at 236, almost $237 million in the worldwide box office. Now, with the $290 million budget, we're looking at least an $800 and $900 million break-even point. Now, that's pretty far. That is very, very far. It's off to a good start. I just don't know if it can quite make it. After we see the initial drop-off in week 2, we'll have a clearer idea if it's going to make it. The word of mouth for this movie and other movies like this are really, really good, and Tom Cruise movies, at least when we compare to Top Gun Maverick, have a lot longer lifespan. They run for longer and more consistent across the many, many weeks of its release, so it could absolutely do it. I think it is well within the realm of possibility that it breaks even, maybe even reaches $1 billion, but I can't say for sure one way or another until after the second week of its release, because right now the numbers are lower than I had hoped, so we'll have to wait and see till next week to see what the totals are. But its 5-day release, I think, might have actually hurt it, because it's doing this weird thing where it was released on Tuesday, similar to the Super Mario movie, but that didn't affect that movie, so perhaps it won't affect this one in the long term either. But the initial numbers are pretty good, starting off with $7 million, $15 million, $8 million, and getting gradually higher up till the Saturday release of this movie. A lot of great stuff. Definitely an increase, what you would expect going from a Tuesday to a Saturday release of an initial opening, but they are lower than I'd hoped. So we'll have to see if the word of mouth is strong enough to get this over the break-even point because of its astonishing budget. We heard recently that because of the actor strike, production for Mission Impossible 8 or Dead Reckoning Part 2 has been halted, and that could delay it substantially. If it delays it too much and it's beyond the release window of next summer, we're looking at a 2-year wait most likely. And that's disappointing because I absolutely love this movie and I can't wait for part 2. I can't wait for the conclusion of this story and the conclusion of the Mission Impossible franchise as a whole, because I absolutely adore this franchise as a whole. I love it a lot more than the majority of even James Bond movies. I think it is an incredible franchise that I'm sad to see go, but at the same time, I'm ready. I'm ready to see the story conclude because of how epic part 1 was, and I hope you all go support it in the theater because I definitely recommend it to all of you. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Anon.
Hey, yo, are you feeling what I'm doing up in here? Oh, I know you are. Do you miss all the good, compelling stories that we used to get back in Hollywood that they ain't putting down no more? Oh, I know you missing it. So check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues, baby. Book 1, Down in Flames. Book 2, Apocalypse Then. These are currently on sale. What are you waiting for? Get your hands on them. And we got Book 3, Kill the Dark, is coming down the pipeline. Just wait for all the good stuff this dropping. You ain't gonna be disappointed, fam.